up, yo? We definitely got a video, another interview, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm just about to get ready to go with you know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to get ready with me. Hey, and comment down below. And we got these shoes, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all full little dumb ass nigga didn't even have the mic. Well, I got another interview today. I'm interviewing somebody named Norman. Think he owns like I don't know too much about his business. I don't really know him like that, but I think he owns his own like security business. So yeah, we're gonna see what that's about. We're gonna see what we can learn from him. But we're gonna what I was saying rate my fit from 1 to 10 in the comments. You feel me? Let me know. And then we're gonna be wearing these shoes. Oh, alright, bet. We're gonna be wearing this. Living decent, that's some Colorado shit, If you know, you know, man. Boom. Then we're gonna put on little accessories. Alright, look, so this is the whole fit. Stand like this. This is my fit. Rate the fit 1 to 10. Shit, let me know. Am I popping my shit right now? But yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all though. I'm gonna head over to interview Norman. And yeah, feel me, gonna see what we could learn. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. Alright. So today I'm here with
Norman.
Norman, Uh so I'm gonna be interviewing him. I think you do business in like what, security or something like that? Like you own security?
Yeah, so currently I'm a barber. I have a security business as well, me and my partners, and been running and doing the security for about 2 years. Um, I'm one of the VPs. It's challenging running basically two jobs, two businesses, and managing and stuff like that.
What is it like exactly like that you do, Like what do you
So
manage?
so in the security, basically, if we get a contract, and it's all
Okay.
about contract security is whatever the terms of the contract is. So like we have event security place right now, so they have different events. It's like a nightclub,
Oh, that makes
you
sense.
know, um, just depending on what needs to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
scheduling, you gotta have a schedule. If they want 20 people, you gotta find 20 people to schedule.
Yeah.
And then after that, you gotta find placements and learning what systems work, like payroll and
Okay.
operation systems.
Yeah. So is
So,
there like any type of system that you use to scale your business with? Like what's something that you do to try to scale your business?
so really, like to scale a business, depending on what you want to do, is like right now it's word of mouth. So if
Okay.
you do good business all
Yeah.
the time, your business will grow fast. You don't have to worry about anything else. You know what I mean? Like if you treat your people right,
Yeah.
that's number one. You know what I mean? You have to treat your team right because if you don't have a team.
Right.
You know what I mean? Without the team, you don't have anything.
And I heard you got to kind of like be open minded to them and care for them too, because if you have a boss that's like that doesn't care for them, just like they're gonna want to leave.
Right.
Boom. Then less employees are gonna be there to help you out, and then the less amount of employees, the harder it's gonna be to manage on your own. So yeah, that's something I learned recently too. So
And you're right. You know what I mean? So like with the employees, the hardest thing is I look at it this way. I was once an employee. I'm still an employee.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though you're the boss, but you can still learn.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I look at it different. I ask my people all the time, what can we do? Are you good? You know what I mean? Like what's concerns that you have?
Yeah.
Because I thought about that every time I was working somewhere. what's something I would do different?
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
do. I
Like,
do.
how can I make this better, or why don't I like this system?
Mhm.
So I look at it like that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
never gonna,
good.
I'm not gonna shut somebody down because they might have a good ideal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Might have a good
exactly.
opinion.
So wait, my bad. I didn't bring my notebook, which I meant to bring, but I was kind of busy with school. I had to turn in some assignments, so
You all
I'm gonna
good?
just kind of go off the dome and just ask questions. But
I got you.
so, what's like what's something that's like really hard, like struggling, like a financial issue that you had to
So
run into?
yeah, I would say starting once
Starting.
again, whatever you're starting, the capital. Like right now, everything is out of pocket.
Yeah.
So we don't have any grants. You know what I mean? Like we got lucky. We got lucky on our contract, and the contract was like, we'll basically work with you while you're still getting everything situated.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that helped out a lot.
Okay.
But you have to understand one thing about business: if you're bringing in a check and you have to pay people out, there's profit. You know what I mean? That you gotta have. You gotta have the payroll. That's the biggest thing. Any
Payroll.
business that you have, if you can cut your overhead, you'll win.
Okay. Makes sense. Sounds like a little stressful, but
Yeah, I would say the most stressful day is definitely payday for some because you never know. You know what I mean? Like we get paid
hmm
from a club or whatever we get paid, but we still have to pay our employees.
yeah, exactly.
Now, if I'm late, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But if they're late and we're on them, hey, you got to do this, 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 and this. When it's time to get paid, they expect to make check on a timely manner.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? That's just sometimes we can control it, sometimes it's out of our control. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just what it is. And that's one thing learning, and that goes back to the financing of everything. You know
hmm
what I mean? Like if we had all right, we have a set amount coming in and we already have it, it's different
Yeah.
versus trying to get to that amount, do payroll, hopefully we get paid on time.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys like track the finances?
yeah,
Like y'all have like a finance worksheet and
yep,
everything like that? Okay, that's good.
yeah. So like I went to school. I got my associate's degree in business.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I never really used it. I always wanted to, but I just never really had an opportunity. I was doing job to job. I worked. I was an electrician for a little while, and that showed me, how to really work.
Yeah.
So once you look at these different job avenues,
Yeah.
you take something from each one.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because I
mean?
mean, every job that you have is a skill. Like you can learn, you can build upon skills. And skills are valuable. So the more value that you have into like to yourself, you can apply that into another business or another job.
Right, right.
You
And
know.
that's like you said, you apply it. Everything that you do, you just apply the knowledge. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
You can never. Every day you
Exactly.
should learn something.
Yeah.
You know. So
Just really take action and really make things happen.
yeah, and consistency.
Yeah, and consistency and
That's
discipline.
yeah. Those are the two biggest things. Like you have to be disciplined, and you have to really be consistent. If you know you have to get up and go do something,
Yeah,
nobody else is gonna tell you to go do
exactly. So you gotta really just say like, fuck how you feel, fuck how you're feeling.
it.
What's
Yep.
going on. You just gotta stay consistent with it and just do it anyway.
Yeah, and that's
And try to
real.
enjoy it. You could probably, if you change your mentality, you can change your reality. So,
Hey, that's a good one.
you
That's
know,
that's real right there.
so
And that's real. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I learned. Even the food that you put in your body, the music
yeah,
that you listening
exactly.
to, the people you hanging out with,
Yeah,
big factors. Big
big factors.
factors.
Yeah, that's a
Like
big factor.
I try to hang around the same like-minded people,
Yeah,
and if not, then I'll hang out by myself.
exactly. I try to hang around people that like trying to pursue things. Like really trying to pursue goals and dreams. Like really want to like do something,
Yeah,
not just people that just want to hang and kick it, party all day, just waste a bunch of time,
for real.
because time isn't like you can't get it back. So once all that time is wasted, you cannot get that back,
Exactly.
So
Out of everything, and you can make all the money you can. You know what I mean? But you can't get, like you said, the time.
yeah,
That's one thing. So make the most of any time that you have.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just a fact. I've lost a lot of time, and I've learned that I can't make up the time. But what can I do now in the future? You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
keep moving, keep progressing.
yeah, and that's good. I like to hear that because some people they just stay stagnant. It's like, oh, fucked off my life, and then they just stay where they're at, you
Just
know.
yeah,
So yeah, that's good that you progressing, you know.
yep. And that's
I like that.
that's one of the biggest challenges is not getting stagnant,
Yeah,
like all complacent and everything like that. Like it's cool to be where you want to be in life,
yeah,
but I want to keep going. You know what I mean? I reach
hmm
one milestone. All right, let's reach another.
exactly.
Let's keep suppressing and everything and surpassing everything that you can. 'Cause
I
that's what
agree.
it's about at the end of the day.
Like if you had two people, both working 9 to 5s, right? That one person's like, damn, I wish I had a million, right? He's gonna sit there. He's gonna be like, damn, like I wish I had a million, but just stay where he's at. But this person, he's like, all right, I'm gonna do everything I can to get to that 1 million. He might not even be able to make it to 1 million, but he'll get further than this person just sitting there. You know,
Yeah.
he might make 500,000. So that's better than just doing nothing. You know, so
And even as a barber, like what do you want to do in a day?
yeah,
That's reality. Do you want to have? Do you want to be a book barber? Do you want to be a barber that whatever it is? Like
yeah,
now, it's different. It's a whole different lifestyle.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's way different. Barbers are making six figures on it easy,
for real,
easy.
that's crazy.
I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah,
It's really not. And once I learned that, like last year,
mhm,
year and a half, I really started seeing a difference in everything.
that's crazy.
Being consistent in here
Yeah,
showed me everything else. How to be consistent. Working for money is hard because if you make 500 in a day, what do you not go do with it? You might go
yeah,
spend the money. You know what I mean?
blow it
But
off.
what about your bills?
Yeah,
What about your kids?
yeah, exactly.
So it's just stuff like that you got to think about.
Yeah, to follow up on what you were just saying. So like, what is something that you do every day to like get closer to your next goal and your next dream?
Keep working. I mean, really, I would say really, really keep working. Stick to my plan. Stick to what. So I got a 5-year plan. So in the next 5 years, you know what I mean. I want to open my own barbershop and school. So I just gotta take it slow. You know what I mean. Get better in everything that I do. Even with the security business, like keep growing it. That's
Yeah,
and that's the challenging part is to really separate the two, but you combine them because you always want passive income. Like
yeah,
I like cutting hair. You know what I mean? I
okay,
like being a business owner. So those are the two things that how do you mix them in? I might not be able to cut as many hairs as I do, but if I can do a few in a week, I'm cool.
yeah,
It's just how the things progress and change. So that's that's a tough question because you just got to do everything better, and even with the security. So if we see something, just change the operation,
yeah,
and that's one thing about cutting hair. When you cut hair, you get better and better each cut. So
okay. Just
I just look at
progressing
it
through it.
different. You know what I mean? Yeah, like different tools, different styles,
Yeah,
and that's all it is. You got to learn. You got to learn everything.
that makes sense. What's something that you wish you would have learned earlier on about like your money, like saving, investing, or something like that? What's something that you would have did earlier that you wish you would have did earlier?
Yeah, no, to know the value of money and how to save it. So if you're making money, you know what I mean. Learn how to save and pay yourself first.
Yeah, pay yourself first.
That's one of the biggest things when you're young. You know what I mean. Like I would have told. Let's see, I'm 35 right now, so yeah, if I was about 18, 19 again,
Yeah.
even a little younger, I'm gonna tell them save 30%. Save 30% of every dollar that you get, everything, because that's gonna be the difference. Because when you have money, you have free.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your
that's true.
time isn't locked in. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the problem with a 9 to 5. You're locked into that time frame to get your money,
Yeah.
and if you're not, then you're not making no money.
Yeah.
It's the
Exactly.
same at the shop. You know what I mean? If I'm not cutting, I'm not working.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I can say, "Oh yeah, I'm a barber all day," but are you cutting hair? What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, are you making money out of it?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So
So
even in business, you know what I mean? Like one thing you're gonna learn about business, it's gonna take you about 3, 4 years to see profit in the business. You might just be feeling like you're just putting out and putting out.
yeah.
It gets tiring, but you got to be like, at the end, it's gonna pay off,
Yeah.
and it will. It really
That's
will.
true.
It's just you got to keep pushing though. Have that
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah. Another thing I learned was like patience. You gotta have patience too. Because everybody just wants like the results like right now. They
Yeah.
want everything instant, and if they don't see it, then they just be like, all right, on to the next thing, and then you know,
Yeah, and that's one thing that you got to learn too. Like patience.
yeah,
Patience is different because of the time that we're in. Everything's faster.
yeah,
Everything's rapid. You have to have it now.
yeah,
Kids, it's an instant gratification of everything that they want. You know, I was as a kid, I wanted everything now, 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 but I was told no, wait. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
different. And then when you're not seeing it and it's not in your face, you don't realize it. But when it's in every ad and every phone, and you turn around, you see it. It's hard. It's hard not to want it.
yeah,
But that's one thing you have to learn. Like, but to earn it, that's where you gotta just have the patience and willingness to know.
yeah. Kind of just like stay broke to get rich.
Yeah, in a way, like no matter how much money I make, I still tell myself I'm broke.
Yeah. If I make 1 million, I'm gonna say I'm
I'm
still
still
broke.
broke because what is $1 million gonna do?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like a million might be a lot, and I always tell the value of money might be a lot for everybody. $1 million might have some people set for the rest of their life. I think of $1 million as starter money.
yeah, that's starting.
You know what I mean? Because after that, you got kids. That's gone.
Yeah,
How do you pay for their tuition? How do you get a house?
yeah,
You know what I mean? How do you? That money's all gone, especially if you're just living off
yeah. So
it. If you're
like,
not
it's like, what are
building
you
it,
gonna do to like make that money grow? You
right?
know.
That's the
So
thing. If it's not growing,
it's depreciating. Because even inflation is going up, what, like 5% every year or something like that. So everything is just gonna get more expensive. So money just sitting there, just looking good, it's gonna lose value over
yeah,
time.
that shoebox money, it looks good, but it don't do nothing for you.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? I still got mine a little bit, but I also have money in the bank.
Yeah,
I'm trying to learn how to invest, how to do different things.
yeah.
You
I've
got
been
to learn
getting
how
into
to,
that too.
you know what I mean? Just there's a million ways to make money,
So many ways.
you know,
So
and
many
there's
ways. Even just off of a phone.
yeah,
So many ways to get money off of a phone. Oh, the skills that you have, like there's so many ways.
yeah. The
So
phone is a $1 billion thing. People don't even realize it's
yeah,
however you use it for. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, facts. You gotta utilize it to your best benefit. Like scrolling on TikTok, wasting time once again with that time thing, wasting time, letting time go by. Like you could be getting money off of that though. You could be doing something productive.
yeah, and that's the thing too. So I always like if there's 24 hours in a day, you know, it's really not because you have to think if a person's sleeping 8 hours, you know what I mean? That puts you at 16.
Hmm.
And then after that, if you're working for another 8, that's another 8 hours. But now people are working, you have to work 10 to 12 hours in a day to survive.
Yeah,
So the day's already gone.
yeah,
So now you got to free up that time and make the most of it.
yeah. You could, what I do to be like in my situation. Let's say when I go to my job or whatever, on my free time, I try to take notes on business, real estate, stocks, and all that. So I really like try to utilize my time like uh what's the word? Trying to utilize my time. Uh, can't think of it.
Like
I just
more
have
productive?
it. Yeah, more productive. Yeah, but uh, yeah, cause I'm serious. Like I'm dedicated to really like building a legacy. You know.
And there you go. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about. Just have solid business with reliable people.
Well, speaking of marketing, would you want to shout out your like business or something like that? Like,
Yeah, so shout out to Doubles Protective Services, security you can trust. Will definitely help you out. We've been in security for a while. We definitely know what we're doing. We may be young, but we are really active in it, and we know what's going on. We can change up a lot of things for you guys. So shout out.
yeah, that's cool. You know, hit them up. You know, check them out. Um, yeah, shit. I mean, that was a good interview. You know,
Yeah,
I kind of want to ask more questions because I think it was just kind of fun, but
that was a good one. I
off the
mean,
top of my dome, it's like
even if you want to do another one some other time,
another time. All
yeah,
right, bet.
and I can get more people. I
Yeah.
got, I know a lot of like, she got her own business.
The girl up behind the wall.
Yeah,
Bro,
and
what she
fire,
do?
all types of stuff. She got a cleaning service. Um, she's a firefighter. She does hair.
Bro,
That's construction. That's
that's
like I can get you some people
that's
help you
cool.
out.
Is there any like? Yeah, I'm gonna hit her.
Yeah, she
You
might
can
have.
plug me in with her.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
got you.
bet. Let's see. You have like any other advice that you?
The biggest advice, honestly, is just stay consistent.
Okay.
That is like, don't give up. You know what I mean? Like it. It's hard to say, but that's really it for me. I stay consistent.
It's just,
I set myself. I told myself if I get up at this time every day, there's no reason why I can't be up.
yeah,
Just sitting around, ain't doing nothing.
yeah,
But you got to get up and want it. So if you don't have that drive, that's the hardest thing about being a business owner. You got to really drive yourself, drive and want it.
mhm.
But other than that, man,
All right.
you got it
Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the interview.
all day.
All right, y'all.
All right.